I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
There are places that don't just sell things. They sell feelings. The memory of running through sliding glass doors on a Saturday morning, eyes wide, heart racing, convinced that somewhere inside those aisles was the greatest thing you'd ever seen. For millions of children across the world, that place was Toys R Us. At its peak, 800 stores, 29 countries, billions in revenue. A brand so beloved that parents would drive 40 minutes just to see their kid's face light up at the entrance. And then in 2018, every single store in America closed its doors. Every single one. This is not just a story about a toy store. This is a story about vision and greed, about an empire built on childhood wonder, and the decisions that tore it apart from the inside. It started with one man. His name was Charles Lazarus. 25 years old, son of a bicycle repairman, fresh out of the army, and absolutely certain of one thing. America was about to have a lot of babies. The baby boom wasn't a trend. It was a tidal wave. And Lazarus saw it coming before almost anyone else. So in 1948, he opened a small baby furniture store in Washington, D.C. But then the parents started asking for something else. Toys. Of course. These babies weren't going to stay babies. They were going to grow. They were going to want things. By 1957, the furniture was gone. In its place, a store dedicated entirely to children's toys. He called it Children's Supermart. The name didn't stick, but the store did. Families came back and told their neighbors. And Lazarus noticed something most businessmen would have missed. The children weren't just customers. They were decision makers. So he leaned in, made the store bigger, brighter, more magical. And he gave it a new name. One written the way a child would write it, with that backward R that looked like a mistake but was actually a statement. Toys R Us. Grammatically wrong. Emotionally perfect. The 1960s. The 1970s. America is expanding, suburbs are spreading, and right in the middle of it all, a toy store the size of an aircraft hangar. 30,000 square feet of pure childhood fantasy. Aisles you could get lost in. Bicycles hanging from the ceiling. A Barbie section that felt like its own zip code. And the prices? Lower than anywhere else. That was the real genius. Buy in massive bulk. Negotiate hard with manufacturers. Pass the savings to the customer. It was a model so powerful that Sears and Kmart, the retail giants of the era, couldn't compete with him on toys. They eventually gave up trying. In 1978, Toys R Us went public. Wall Street was paying attention. And in the 1980s, the company didn't just grow, it exploded. One store became 10. 10 became 100. 100 became 500. Then Japan, Germany, the UK, Australia, Singapore. By 1990, Toys R Us controlled 25% of the entire American toy market. 1 in every 4 toys sold in the United States was sold by Charles Lazarus. He wasn't running a toy store anymore. He was running an empire. Ask anyone who grew up in the 80s or 90s what Toys R Us meant to them. They won't give you a business answer. They'll give you a memory. The smell of plastic and cardboard when you walked in. The negotiation with your parents. Just one thing, I promise. The sheer, overwhelming abundance of it all. Toys R Us wasn't a store. It was a destination. A pilgrimage. Whatever the occasion, birthdays, Christmas, report card treats, the answer was always the same: we'll go to Toys R Us. And behind the magic? Enormous power. When you control 25% of the toy market, manufacturers don't negotiate with you. They beg. Hasbro, Mattel. Every major toy company on earth needed Toys R Us shelf space more than Toys R Us needed them. This was the golden age. And then the world changed. While Charles was building Toys R Us, someone was building something bigger. Walmart. The superstore. His name was Sam Walton. Walmart decided toys were a category worth fighting for, and Walmart fought with scale, with a willingness to sell toys at a loss just to get families through the door. For the first time, Toys R Us was in a price war it couldn't win. Walmart didn't need toys to be profitable. Toys R Us needed nothing else. But if Walmart was a warning shot, what came next was a cannon. The internet is born. A young man named Jeff Bezos drives across the country writing a business plan. He wants to sell books online. Just books. He calls it Amazon. By 1999, Amazon had expanded far beyond books. And that holiday season, Toys R Us made their first catastrophic mistake. They launched an online store completely unprepared for the demand. Orders went unfulfilled. Children woke up Christmas morning with empty stockings. The FTC fined them for delivery promises they couldn't keep. It was a humiliation. and their response made everything worse. Burned by their failures online, Toys R Us made a deal with the company that was winning the internet. They partnered with Amazon, letting Amazon handle their e-commerce in exchange for being the exclusive toy seller on the platform. It seemed like a partnership. It was a trap. Amazon quietly began allowing other toy sellers onto their platform. Third-party vendors, competitors, anyone. Toys R Us had handed Amazon their customer data, their traffic, their playbook, and Amazon had learned everything it needed to know about the toy business. In 2004, Toys R Us sued Amazon and won. But winning a lawsuit didn't undo the damage. Bruised, behind, and outmaneuvered, they needed a rescue. And in 2005 it arrived. 3 private equity firms purchased Toys R Us in a leveraged buyout worth $6.6 billion. The plan? Take the company private, restructure, innovate, bring it back stronger. There was just one problem buried in the fine print. Of that $6.6 billion purchase price, $5.3 billion was loaded directly onto Toys R Us's debt. $5.3 billion. Not the investor's debt. The company's debt. Every single year, while Amazon invested billions in faster delivery and Walmart modernized its stores, Toys R Us was writing a check. $400 million a year. Just in interest. Not on new stores. Not on competing. Just on staying alive. The company wasn't dying from competition alone. It was dying from the inside. By 2017, the stores that were once cathedrals of childhood had grown dingy, outdated, understaffed. While Amazon delivered to your door in 2 days, Toys R Us felt like a relic from another era. Because it was. They tried to fight back. New store concepts, experiential play areas, things Amazon could never replicate. But every dollar they needed to spend had already been promised to someone else. In September 2017, Toys R Us filed for bankruptcy. The announcement hit like a punch to the stomach. Social media flooded with memories, with photographs, with grieving. Grown adults in their 30s and 40s writing about the store as if mourning a person. Because in a way they were. The company promised it would survive. That Jeffrey the giraffe would live on. But the 2017 holiday season was their last stand. And when the numbers came in, the creditors made their decision. March 15, 2018. Toys R Us announced it would liquidate. Every store. All of them. Gone. In the weeks that followed, liquidation sales drew enormous crowds, not to save the company, just to say goodbye. Parents brought their children not to buy anything but just to show them. This is where I used to come. This is where the magic was. 33,000 employees lost their jobs. Most received little to no severance. The private equity firms walked away with their fees intact. Charles Lazarus, the man who had started it all, passed away just months before the end. He was 94 years old. On June 29, 2018, the last Toys R Us in America turned off its lights. And that was it. The easy answer is to blame Amazon. And Amazon deserves its part of the story. But the harder truth is that Toys R Us had chances. They had the brand, no one had a brand like theirs. They had the loyalty of an entire generation. What they didn't have was the willingness to bet on the future before the future forced their hand. When the internet emerged, they moved slowly. When they failed online, they handed the keys to a competitor. When private equity arrived with a rescue plan, they traded their future for short-term survival. And when the debt grew high enough to block the view of the horizon, they simply couldn't see what was coming. Charles Lazarus built his empire by running toward change. His successors lost it by standing still. The brand was relaunched in 2019. New stores. Smaller, more experiential. Jeffrey the giraffe came back. Whether the magic can be rebuilt, that story is still being written. But the memory? The specific, irreplaceable memory of being a child in those aisles? No bankruptcy court can touch it. No algorithm can replace it. It lives in the people who lived it. And maybe that's the real lesson, that the things we build for children, the wonder we create, the places that make a kid feel like the world is limitless and those things are fragile. And they are worth protecting. Not just with nostalgia, but with vision, with courage, and with the willingness to change before change is forced upon you. Charles Lazarus understood that once. He just never got the chance to teach it to the people who came after him. If this story hit different for you, if it brought back a memory or made you think about the brands and places we take for granted, share it with someone who needs to see it. And if you want more stories like this, subscribe. We tell the ones that actually matter.